Although there are great benefits to the age of information that we are living in, we basically have infinite amount of information out there on all sorts of situations and stuff. Obviously, not everything, because we're still expanding and we're still exploring, we're still discovering all sorts of stuff and changing. There is a great consequence as well as side effects to having so much information out there and consuming it endlessly, like TikTok, YouTube, and all sorts of platforms and social media where people can put out a lot of information all at once. And the consumers can absorb a lot of information, not all at once, but a lot of it during a short amount of time, in comparison to if you were in real life talking to someone or reading a book or watching a TV show. That's it, and there wasn't like this endless amount of stuff that and information that we are consuming and watching on a daily basis. So why am I bringing this out right now, and why it's important to understand what I'm about to say? We know that there's a lot of information, right? We can basically discover how to do almost anything that comes to mind. Obviously not everything, again, because we're all changing, but there is a grave consequence to it, because the more we absorb and the more we consume, especially unrefined information, like anyone just spit out something on the internet, the great consequence to that is that if we don't filter it out, and if we just look at it and let it in, there will be a lot of garbage inside of us, because we are a container. We are a container of information, and we are like vessels where that information is stored. And if we don't clean it out constantly, especially right now that there is a lot of stuff being talked about, a lot of stuff being discussed, and a lot of stuff being taught, there will be consequences to the way we perceive the world, the way we think about stuff, and many times we might have shorter, as a lot of people talk about, shorter attention spans. Well, that only exists, and that always existed. You know, short attention span doesn't mean you consumed a lot of stuff or you watched a lot of short-term stuff. It means more that you are consumed, or that you are clogged by a lot of garbage that is distracting you. That's basically what short attention span means, is that you are constantly bombarding yourself with information that does not matter for your current situation. That's why you cannot concentrate on whatever you are learning, whatever you are doing, or whatever you want to think about or set goals for yourself. So big consequences like losing concentration and not being able to think about something straight for 5 minutes is already a big tell sign that you are polluted within. You have a lot of garbage information that you do not need. And why is it bad? Well, we have so much information out there, and imagine you watched a whole bunch of TikToks or a bunch of shorts or a bunch of like videos that you just watched it, and imagine you didn't clean your palate, you didn't clean your mind, you didn't meditate, you didn't work on something worthwhile for you to keep your full attention on it. You are going to be lacking the ability to absorb the right information, because you have so much stuff in your vessel, and your vessel is not infinite. Like, you cannot bombard it with so much information without cleaning it and be sane and think straight for a long period of time. You are going to notice that you are losing attention and you are distracted. You started doing one thing and now you are doing another without noticing. That is when you are full of stuff that does not matter inside you and is not applicable to your real life and to whatever you are doing. So you are going to stay distracted, and whenever important information comes in, or people are talking to you about something important or something that matters at the moment, you are going to get very easily distracted, forget about stuff, not remember a lot of things because you didn't clean your palette, you didn't clean your container to keep absorbing information further. So the main way for you to absorb good information and contain it for long years is for you to have a good container. It's for you to have a good place to place the information that you are absorbing and being able to focus. So mainly if you are not clean, or your container is not clean to absorb the right information and repel information that you don't see fit, you are going to, if it's not clean, you are going to keep losing focus and not being able to retain information that is important. So by having so much information right now accessible to the public, you can just open an app and you have a lot of infinite amount of information and stuff that people are talking about, talked about, and all that stuff. So you have to be able to filter it out in order to absorb the information that you really need to listen. For example, if you are studying painting or sewing and all that stuff, you want to be able to remember and to see whatever is being transmitted to you. When you are reading, you want to focus on each chapter, focus on each page and words to contextualize whatever you are reading instead of reading on autopilot, because this leads us to autopilot mode. If you are full of garbage, and that's many people in this world, people are losing focus just by being in a conversation with you, and obviously we all experience that from time to time, right? And some more than others, and that depends on your vessel. If you are losing focus constantly, you are mainly on autopilot mode. You are on mode where you are reacting to the world and you are just following whatever the currents are taking you to, and you are basically following only the major situations and your desires, which many times end up being lower animalistic desires, without any friction. You want to do this, you do this without any conceptualization of, is this something that I will do right now, or am I better to work on this project and then I'm gonna do this that is pleasureful or whatever, right? So it's important to be able to be a good retainer of information and have a good vessel to absorb the right information into your life, into your mind, and be able to practice it. Because mainly for us to retain information, we need to practice it. That's why there are exercises where you are reading a poem, right? And now you want to exercise and write down what is your conclusions about the poem that you wrote. This is something that you can apply to anything. You have seen a tutorial on how to, I don't know, make a cake, a cupcake. You want to do it, if that's something that you really want. You want to do it to see if you can exercise it and retain it in your memory. So you don't have to keep it in front of on the front of your mind. You have exercise it and you are able to retain it and practice it, or you think about it, you keep bringing it to mind and you conceptualize how would this look, how would this be, I would do this and that. And focus is what helps you keep that current train of thought without losing your thought and your focus to distractions. So mainly we want to clean our palette, we want to clean our vessel that absorbs information. Because imagine this is like, like a sponge, or like a cup that is a sponge. You absorb you fill your cup with information, and when you keep it, the more time you keep that sponge cup with that information, the more it is absorbed into the cup, and the cup itself will become that information that you have absorbed. So if you want to have the right container and the right focus and the right mind, if you want to formulate your morals and your mind on the things that you truly believe with your heart, with your spirit, that you truly believe are essential and important to your current present moment, you let it sit. But the things that do not benefit your mind state and your morals and what you believe is true, if you don't want to keep a certain information or mindset that information brought to you, you have to clean it out. You have to evaporate it. You have to evaporate that information, because it will in the end form the cup that you drink from. And many times that cup might be so dirty, with such dirty water for you, that you will not be able to absorb the right information and you will be confused. So it will take longer for you to change the structure of the cup, the structure and the information that is making up the cup. You will have to take more time to absorb other important information to get rid of the dirt that you have absorbed and let be the cup that you are drinking from. I hope this was like a clear example, but it's something like that. There's so much information out there. You want to retain the information that is righteous to you, that you can teach to others, that you can teach to yourself and remember and access whenever you need it, instead of accessing some gossip bullshit that nobody gives a shit besides you, that you think you give a shit, but nobody really benefits from, and neither do you. So you want to absorb the right information and clean out your palate, clean out your cup from whatever information or whatever conclusions are not beneficial to you. You change your mind. You might absorb some dumbass information. You hear what this celebrity did or whatever, and instead of you just keeping it, oh, the celebrity did this, you are able to be like, okay, what do I think about this? What the fuck do I think about this? This is some bullshit. Okay, that's the conclusion you took, and that goes to the compartment of this is bullshit, and you don't really access to the container of bullshit. You access to the container of what are the conclusions I take about the bullshit that I absorb. So the important container is how you take conclusions on bullshit, not the bullshit itself. You know what I mean? So hopefully this was interesting. I just want to let you know, and I noticed this a lot, when you absorb so much information. We absorb so much information about anything in the world, and all kinds of knowledge, and you might think you know all of this stuff because you absorbed it, or you learned, you watched a whole bunch of videos on esoteric knowledge and all kinds of stuff, but you didn't retain it well. You're gonna just be cocky, but when people ask you to elaborate, you're just gonna be like, and if we are not practicing it, if we are not really containing it and absorbing it in the right way, in a clear way, then it's just gonna be polluted water, and whatever you are going to keep expressing and telling to others is going to be bullshit, is going to be polluted water. Nobody really wants to be around polluted water if they are focused and on their path, because if they are also polluted, it's just gonna be a full group of trash people, which I would not recommend you to be around or create an environment for yourself like that. I wanted to add on that the information that you keep and cherish ends up becoming wisdom. So wisdom is infinite. You can have an infinite well of wisdom, but that only comes when you have experienced, practiced, and refined the information that you keep within yourself. So information is limited, right? You can have a lot of information and know a lot of stuff, but to build wisdom, which is infinite. You can build infinite wisdom from the information, from the limited information that you get. You will build wisdom from that information and actually become someone that is wise, that can be trusted or can be listened to, because you have experienced, you have refined, and you have seen things that only you could have seen, because you are an individual. So information is limited, but wisdom is unlimited. So make sure that you are refining your information and the things that you think about, so then you can build upon and learn from experience and become wiser. Because imagine you have a sticky table full of, like, you spilled the coffee and it's now sticky because you left it there for 1 or 2 days. If you let it there, it's gonna attract more yucky stuff. It's gonna attract more stuff that is garbage. It ain't gonna attract good stuff. It's just attracting more bacteria, more shit to that sticky shit. So that's a good example. You clean out the sticky stuff so nothing else, no bacteria and no trash goes onto it. You want to clean it out and keep it clean so you can put on things on the table that are actually worth keeping clean. Okay, so I wish this was interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and go to my IG to check out my art and my amazing partner Esotericcloudsurfer. He makes tarot readings and astrological readings, so make sure to check him out, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.